So let's move on to what we want to do today. So, well, actually, first I'll show you a little bit of what we created. In terms of logos, you might see it here a little bit. So we finally finished. We finally finished creating each of the factions that will be in play during the story. Not all of them will appear in the first. Not all of them will appear in the first issue, which is what we're working towards primarily. But we do want to leave our story open so that we can, talk about it easier in the near future. Whenever we move on to future issues. So I kind of like having everything established beforehand, so I can, just so I can kind of tease things a little. For instance, if I wanted to show which kind of do a bit of foreshadowing towards which groups will be taking an impact in the story later on, I can do that. And I just think having the pieces made already, or having a good notion of what we're going to be doing, will, aid us and work in our benefit when it comes to creating the first issue and the earlier on issues. Maybe I should just focus on the early on stuff, which we'll be doing real soon. We're going probably the stream after this. We'll be working on the story that the first issue is going to cover. But for now, we're going to work on something that I think should be pretty fun. Is world maps. The world map. There are plenty of fantasy world maps, and I always love seeing other people work on their fictional worlds. Having everything laid out in front of them. So at the base level here, we have a completely blank canvas. Or at least we would if I had just opened Photoshop and started a blank canvas. So I'm not really sure what size we should be working with. I think we want to leave it open pretty large, and we'll create a somewhat rectangular map. So we'll go 320 by 250. I think that's a pretty decent size. Yeah, not too rectangular and not too square. Perfect. So this should be good. Now, obviously, we need to draw some inspiration. Un momento. That would be okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so a lot of people love working on their fictional worlds and their maps, and it's a huge part of world building. So we need to kind of establish, setting, climate, worlds, the amount of cities, the amount of water, the amount of everything, population density. It's good to have these things on lockdown, so you know what you're kind of writing for. But right now we have a blank canvas, so we can go in any direction. There are a lot of online tools that assist with this sort of thing. Let me carry one over here so you guys can see it. This isn't really one of the tools. This, because I didn't want to just press generate and just have the world that just was seeded by this creation device. I want to draw up a proper map for myself. Obviously I could use a generated map, and then make alterations. However, I think I prefer to just kind of take inspiration by looking at what other people's complete work are like, and then starting from a baseline, because we have a lot of someone created a nice Pinterest board full of inspirations to draw from. Although what isn't nice is the fact that we're using Pinterest, because the pop-ups and such. It's okay. There's nothing too bad about it. So you see, like, a lot of people have their own fictional world, and you get some really nice looking ones. And our one is going to be pretty basic in terms of like artistic skill. You know, it's not going to be as like lovely looking as this one. It's going to be more of a guide map, and it's going to be more stylized towards what our comic is going to look like. So world. Just before the stream started, I found a pretty interesting instructional guide of how to draw world maps, which maybe we can take a look at. Yeah, the article was originally written for people building their own worlds for novels. So this is generally for just any sort of writing. I imagine I can use it for comic books or what have you. And what interests me about this is they don't start off overly complicated. They start off really basic and simple with just circles, like just very basic circles, and then they start drawing around it, and that's sort of the circles kind of dictate how like tall the terrain would be. So the interlapping parts of the circles are kind of the mountain ranges. So if there's like a circle within a circle, that kind of shows that the land is higher in that area, which I think is kind of interesting. Or maybe isn't how they've been going about it. Maybe the circles are just very basic outlines before they even make the coastal outlines. We can take a look around. You see, they went from just drawing the coast and drawing a few islands, and yeah, then like drawing up the mountains, then just adding a little bit more detail, adding a bit of rivers. I think this is for their forestry. I think that's what that part, yeah, hills and forests. And later on, that's when they chart out where the cities are gonna be. There's also a similar topic for Kobold Guild of world building. Let's take a look at this. I haven't really gotten a chance to see this, so hopefully it's... Ah, okay, that's a book we have to pay for. We're not going to touch this, sadly. Oops, I just closed. I just closed. Let's go back. Okay, sure. So we can kind of follow along with what they've got. But first, let's take a look at the kind of mood board that was kind of drawn up here. Wow. Okay, so we're taking inspiration from real life maps. Should be something that we should consider also. It's kind of interesting to see if, you know, we should go for something like this, which is like continent based. I know. This is our landscape from like above, but so like, yeah, this is like one typical like large landmass with like a few islands. Or do you want to go with multiple continents? It's certainly a question that should be considered early on. Yeah, I was going to touch on this. Yeah, I'm glad it's here. I like how Pokemon games can do their islands and regions rather. So the Galar one, the most recent example, they typically try to hit every kind of, not every climate, but like most climates, so they can have Pokemon from various typing and habitats. So I guess we should kind of aim to do the same. Perhaps. But also maybe not. Maybe we go with like multiple. Maybe kind of set it up so it's multiple regions. So what I think might be good is if we just start drawing and we start erasing and we start drawing again and we start erasing until we get something that we think makes an interesting shape and an interesting world. Shall we? Okay. This is a good brush? That's a good brush. I like this. Okay. Not sure what I was doing before this, but the brush is nice. So what in the shapes? Also actually, before we go into that, I'm wondering if I should do this sort of thing where yeah, let's just focus on creating the continent / country that we're going to be working with. Yeah, so we'll make something that more embodies this more so than one that encompasses multiple continents. Not a fan of Pinterest for this reason, exactly. Oh, this one's good. Zendrick. Okay, sure. We'll start creating. So let's just start by like drawing the circles, like our friend did. But those are extremely light circles. My god. My alt key is broken. I'd forgotten about this. Yeah, so let's start by drawing like circle, circle. Okay. Okay. Is that good? Oh, not sure I like it. We'll go through the stages that were put in front of us in this kind of exercise, and we can decide. These were the very brief circles. Then they started drawing how they wanted the land to actually look. We'll have. I think I've just very vaguely made like America. No, definitely not. Now we just made like a cube of meat. But you can see what I mean, like the East Coast, West Coast, kind of coming down. If we had like a little bit of Florida here. No, take that out of my ear because I'm actually not listening to anything, and I'm not listening to my own audio because that would put me off, and I would not know what I'm saying. Let's go with this. It can be connected up here. These are the vague. Let's create a new layer. Let's lower the opacity of this layer so it's less harsh. So I think you can just kind of make the random shapes. Do this. Is that varied enough? I don't quite like it at the moment, but we'll keep working and seeing what happens. Shall we? Let's just erase this little niblet. Very round in shape, this one. I was thinking, can I have it like that? No, it's very straight. No, we don't like this. I don't like the fact that it looks like I can always see like feet. I can always see like shapes, kind of like a witch's nose going on here. And I'm wondering if other people see those too. If my random lines are not as random as I would like them to be. I think that's alright, kind of looks American. So I'm not the biggest fan, because I don't want it to really look like much things from the real world. Or for people to kind of speculate that it's based off of anything in particular. Maybe we do. We make other islands. So where will our islands be? Or maybe we should follow the guide. Let's follow the guide more. Yeah, though they have the islands when they were drawing the... I kind of almost emulated... No, I didn't really emulate what they were doing. So we'll make an archipelago going off this way. Archipelago. Noun. A collection of islands. Archipelago. Noun. A collection of islands. Archipelago. Noun. A collection of islands. Now let's see stack up there. We can kind of have this area. Just don't like some shapes. So let's make this jagged because a lot of it's curvy. Sometimes you do need some jaggedy shapes. That doesn't look real though, you know? I'm struggling to make this one look real. So that's our first go of it. I'm just gonna actually going to I'll create a group real quick. A little folder for them. And I'll start again because I don't necessarily know if I like that one. So we'll keep going until we find one that we think we like. Because there's no need to just go with the first thing we make. Let's go with circle, 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 and circle, 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 circle. Okay, we'll try this. Kind of looks like a worm from the Worms games from like Team 11 or Team 17, 14. My god, it makes it worm. What do we think of this at the moment? Okay, barren. We don't like that shape. Let's go completely like that. And we'll make this one. And we'll create a little lake here. I know we're not supposed to be making lakes this early, but that's what we're doing. Natural forming skull, a bit edgy. With Skull Island. I don't like Skull Island. It's a fun concept to kind of think of. Would kind of be if I outlet, because we can put something here that kind of offsets Skull Island, because it adds like another thing into the mix to distract it from the fact that it kind of looks like a skull. You have to do a lot of debating on like if I want gangs to just persist in the city, which is what I was primarily thinking, or if I want them to subsist on a I kind of like take up a lot of the ownership of the land. It's a difficult decision to make, because what's the point in drawing a giant map? You're not going to explore that much of it. Maybe that is the point. And how much am I going into like government type storylines? How big of a role is the government going to play? I know what I want to do with law enforcement, but other aspects of law and order, I'm not certain what I want to do yet. Yeah, I like it being. We can kind of do like a water-based one, and we'll do this one more time, and then we'll make a decision. I quite like the second one more so than the first one. Let's overlap them, see what happens. Awful. That looks awful. Okay. That one just looks like America with like some sort of organ hanging out. I don't really want to describe what it might look like. Okay, so that's that. We'll create one more. We'll go for with circles, circle strats. We didn't really lean too heavy on that. Let's have them not connected. In terms of climate, I was kind of thinking of more desert-like, kind of keeping a deserty feel. We can see what goes on. Actually, yeah, no, let's lower the opacity. I don't like black blending with black. Black blending with grey, however, more acceptable. Yeah, let's jot this out here. Jot it out more. And let's make it this sort of shape. Oh yeah, make it like a little nugget. Come here, you little nugget. Make that. I'm not sure how I feel. Let's do a little erasure of this. I did it fairly quickly. And ignore any other sort of. We can give it. How about this? Not the worst. Let's focus on the next side of it. Very curved. Um, very similar shapes, very simple. Nothing overly complex. Doesn't really look appealing, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm going to do a little bit of little connector to this. Still random shapes. I feel like I should be planning things out more. I kind of like the idea of putting a volcano somewhere. What if I did like, fucking dang volcano, dude. No, don't like any of those. Let's get back to where we were. Something's unsettling about this shape, and I hate it. You know what we're gonna erase? We're gonna erase this sort of portion of the part that isn't setting me off. And then we're gonna erase this part, the part that is setting me off. Even though it's like a pregnant shrimp. And nobody wants to be from the island of pregnant shrimp. Sorry, just checking something. I'm not feeling any of this side. I don't like this, so let's do a good old deletus. Deletus. I'm not sure how much I'm feeling this one either. We can play around. We can still play around. Let's go up here for now. Well, that's just the wrong tool. Okay, that's an okay shape. I'm gonna make this. Broken star islands. You got like your little sun, you got your moon, and then you got your broken up star. Yeah, not loving the star. Or any of it, mostly. Let's get rid of these squigglies. I don't mind this shape. What do we got on number 2 again? Group 2. Okay, it's time to make a big serious island. That's not bad. That is not bad. Let's continue at number 2 and number 3. Let's continue at number 2 and 3. So if we follow the order that is being used on this guide, they say so rough shape, circles, then they move on to the coastline, have it broken up and at random. Mine are a little more flat and smooth. That's fine. So what if I create a new layer, lower the opacity of this in much less degree, and let's keep a consistent brush size. Yeah, I'm just trying to ensure that it's kind of random looking. Now it kind of looks like I'm trying to force squiggles, which should never be the case. I need some bits of like smooth land and some pieces of like jagged change. My brush size is too thick, but it should be alright. That's not bad, I don't think. That's not bad. Let's tidy up the edge I used to connect them. That's a good continent shape. Continent, country, same thing. Not really, but they might serve the same purpose. I don't like that thing that happens. Stop making that happen. That's not the worst. How about... That's got my mind. Is there a way to disable this? I looked that up off screen. I'm not gonna look it up off screen. I'm too lazy to find it. So we're just gonna live with it. Okay, and we're also gonna live with that since that exists now. Let's turn mistakes into, as Bob Rostifer would say, happy little accidents. Okay, no, maybe I can't live with this. What the f? Maybe that was just a little delay on behalf of... Okay, I wish that would stop. This is getting obnoxious now. Okay, not liking that. Stop. Oh, you aggravate me. No, I don't like this. I like this one to be a smooth island. I need someone to cool my warm heart with a cold island song. Or to warm my frozen heart with a... Yeah, that's oh, is there a way to disable it? I don't know what it's called. The sun, the moon, and the blobby star. And then whatever this is. It's a pain in my ass, that's what it is. Not the worst. I can live with that. This one's very bumpy. Oh, there's a little boy up here we forgot about. Let's not call it a little boy. Let's call it an island. Actually, that's a good idea. Let's make one more. If drawing small things causes issues. No, I don't like this. Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of it. Let's draw this one. It's like I'm getting like the Spain or Portugal issue of having a face in my landmass. Okay, this'll do. So let's go on to the next stage. We got her. Drawn out version of what the landscape looks like. Now we determine where the high points and the low points are. And that is not the right place. So I kind of have this going on at the moment. Let's create like a little... So we can have a little valley going on here. Let's go valley. So the more dense the triangle there, the more of the mountains there is involved. I think that's a good place to put those. Let's take. Did I? What is going on? Where did I draw those lines? On that layer. That makes sense, because it's right there. I'm a fool. I forgot I did the outline twice. So we can go ahead and delete that, right? No, I just created another layer. That's the opposite. And I could kind of, well, we're still using this. So we kind of have, oh, that's the wrong layer. That's just the wrong layer, dude. Yeah, so use circles as little indicators for what kind of areas have the higher kind of landmass. We don't need to use it too strictly. You can kind of even just put like I forget the term for the maps that are like they use like circles to convey how high up the points are. Like is that what a topographical map is? I don't think that's what a topographical map is, but since I don't know what a topographical map is and I don't know what those are called, for the sake of conversation, I will continue calling them topographical maps. Nah, I said the word too many times now. I need to find out. Topographical map. What is a topographical map? In modern mapping to chart is map is large scale. Contour lines. Okay, no, I was right. hey, nobody cares, but I was right. I think I did not read much, as I cannot read, and I am a lazy boy. Okay, so we can have this one be kind of flat. We'll have a little bit of a mountainous terrain there, and we can have our northern point of our continent slash country, whatever we decide on, to have that sort of little bit up there. Okay, we don't need too much mountains. As a matter of fact, they kind of go against what we're kind of going to create, because we're going with a kind of sandy area. So now that I think of it, the mountains don't make much sense at all. If anything, we have kind of dunes. I don't know. Give us a moment. How no? Because deserts are inherently kind of desolate of terrain in general. They're just not necessarily flat, but yeah, no, just mostly flat and same kind of have the same surface going. Oops. Mountains in deserts with one S. Hopefully that's how it's spelled. Just... yeah, I'm not too sure. How do you... oh, I guess, yeah, you have plateaus. Yeah, no, yeah, that makes sense. They're not too, yeah, they're not too high up, so I guess these areas can be more plateaus than I just don't feel like the country I've created is very sand-like, but we can kind of write what we're doing. We can change things up. Yeah, okay. Let's continue forward. I'm just gonna check one thing out. Oh. Not too sure if I should. Yeah, I should keep one of the islands completely flat. Although I was considering the possibility of a volcano. Maybe I do that on this little island up here, if that's a good place for it. Volcanoes. Everyone always has like a singular volcano in their like world building maps, but just because people do it doesn't mean it's a reason for me not to do it. Let's just move on. Let's kind of follow the guide. We're not strictly following it, but I do find it interesting the way that they start off with just having like tiny little blips as the first step. So they establish terrain by putting in mountains, symbolized by triangle. They can have it like free flowing, so they have like the range there, so that would create like a little valley, and then they also have it being like along range the mountains that spread throughout the terrain, mostly in the central region, which is kind of what I got going on here. I got like a little valley which isn't too stuck in there, and I have this portion kind of segregated out, whereas this one I'm going to have kind of be kind of flatter terrain, and this we can decide. I think I'll probably fill this up with like either rivers or lakes. Let's see what's next on the agenda. Rivers, yeah, so here we go. Rivers join the coast. The only job they never branch. I guess that's a good way to do it. You could kind of even use whatever geographical knowledge you might have, like how coastal erosion works and how rivers are formed, and if there's any canals, and kind of go from there. Let's do that. So I could have. That's an extremely straight river. My God. Let's zoom in a little. That's the opposite of what I want. They never branch. Okay, that's a nice rule. So this one could be formed from glaciation, from the Ice Age. So that's something. And funny kind of thinking that this knowledge is actually being used in application, because when doing geography I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll have no idea how to do my adulting tasks, not adultery tasks, adulting tasks, being a responsible person, but I'll know about sedimentary rocks and shit like that. Never branch, just join. I guess that's fair. And I'm gonna take the liberty of using this time to draw lakes in, because I'm pretty sure it's probably somewhere else on down the line, and maybe lakes shouldn't be this large. No, I don't like that. Let's change this. Lakes. Where are we drawing our lakes? Well, this one's gonna have a big lake. Lake. That's a big lake. We have like very simple shapes. We'll come in to refine it later. I'm gonna thin my brush out and make it straighter, because this probably won't fly for the map, considering I use the same size line for the entire coastal region, and then my lakes are just gammy. I got them gammy lakes. I don't know what you know about gammy lakes. And we'll do our little Sea of Tranquility up here, I guess. Sure, no pun intended. I don't like drawing rivers from lakes, I've realized. Let's just start doing this. It looks too forced, in my opinion. I don't know, I wonder if I should use like a line size to dictate the size of the rivers. Branch never join, or join never branch. Shit, dude. Okay, I'm going back to my like basic drawing style of like draw like little lines to make shapes, which is just my comfort blanket. I hate drawing in like single lines. As a matter of fact, we'll do this as a little game, a little test. Let's see how straight of a circle I can draw free form, drawing really slowly. Because I feel like if I draw fast, I'll either we'll draw fast and slow and see what comes up. So can I draw a good circle? I guess it's easier the smaller you go, but not the greatest circles. But you know, people struggle with simple things like that all the time. Okay, that it shouldn't get. I guess it should get thinner. No, it really shouldn't. It should get wider at the mouth of the river. Yeah, I think this. We don't need to make it too river-based, riverside. If we do decide to do volcano, bloop, bloop, bloop. Like hot springs going. We like hot springs. There's nothing to differentiate the fact that this is But let's hope I remember. And if I don't remember, then this is now a lake. Those are the rules. If I remember, it happened. If I don't remember, it happened. I'm just spewing out nonsense, my dude. What do we got? Okay, this was looking a bit barren, so let's make one last lake. Let's do it here so it looks less like a face. Let's make a lagoon. I don't know what constitutes as a lagoon, but it's a lagoon now. Perfect. I'm not sure we'll ever use most of this. That's my favorite. My favorite. That's my favorite. Okay, so let's follow their things now. See the way she drew. I'm just assuming it was a she. Let me actually check that. John. So yeah, obviously a girl. So whatever she drew, the way she drew her, like, her river's thicker at the bottom. John likes them thick. Don't take that out of context or in context. Don't take any context. We make them thicker at the bottom. We do like a thick bottom. Yeah, you could use a thick bottom. And I could make these wispier. So actually, you definitely need a thicker bottom. Look at that flat. Look at that flat river mouth. Tried to save myself, and I feel I made it slightly worse. Girl, you got a fat mouth. I'm only making myself laugh. Draw a tombolo. No. I'm just... All this is just me remembering how geography works. So what did they move on to next? I'm gonna guess forests or lakes, depending. Hills and forests. Right. Oh. These are hills? No, these are forests. These are hills. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. I might need to erase some of my mountains to make them hills. We making hills? Please? Number 2. Oopsie doodles. Bum, 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 bum. Not feeling the hills all too much, if I'm going to be honest. Might exclude these from the map entirely. But maybe they're important, so I'll keep them in. Let's focus on forestry. I don't like the way that they illustrated their forests. Yeah, I have to decide if I'm going for a color map at all. If I'm going black and white. So that's where they stop with their maps. And I guess you can touch up the map once you have all your elements finished. Which we'll certainly be doing, because this is very, very rough. I said I don't like the way she illustrated her forest. Here I go copying it anyway. And I keep referring to John as a girl, but, you know, we don't know how John refers to himself or herself. I'm not feeling the hills. We're deleting the hills. I don't like them. Get them off. We do not accept hills. Although they should be, maybe they're just indicators for if I want to do maps that kind of look like this. I said maps that look like this. You know, different kind of color terrain depending on like topographically how high up things are. Which I guess is what I want, because I want to we're going for a color map, definitely. We have to. So we may as well use colored indicators for things like that. First off, we no longer need this circle. We can go delete this. Secondly, we can zoom out for a bit, and we can just indicate some things to ourselves. So, let's get a base blue for you, and probably deeper blue. That'll do it nicely. Oh, look how lovely! All that's in my head right now is how much of the world does this take up. One of my favorite things to get nerdy and weeby, I'm going to pull up this, is a Dark Continent map from Hunter x Hunter, because they did an interesting twist where they had the entire world, and that's what we thought the world was. And then, like, towards the end, we haven't even explored what's on this, really. Or I say we, I mean, you know, the story. So, like, that's the continent that they live on. That's the world, that's the known world. And then the rest of it is just this. We're not gonna copy that or, like, do the same thing. I just think it's interesting that they, like, you know, they mainly focus on one part, and then later on they're like, yo, but look how big the world really is. Which kind of makes it seem like it was like an afterthought, but judging, I'm pretty sure it was planned out from the get-go, or at least somewhat planned out. I just find it interesting. We're gonna use like a basic greenish, dull green maybe, to indicate land, or maybe we should use brown. Sorry. Yeah, let's use like an earthy brown. Nothing too rich. There we go. We can decide on in a bit. We don't need to be too exact. We're just indicating things for ourselves in the future. And I can even like touch things up off screen if need be, or I can just do this because it's kind of therapeutic. Good thing about the thick lines is it enables me to just do this and not have to worry about erasing. Ew, I hate it. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have anything on my mind at the moment, so I'm just kind of coloring in for the sake of it. But we can change that. We can definitely change that. As a matter of fact, I don't think we even followed the guide to its conclusion. Yeah, because we never established cities and towns. So what did they do? Cities, towns, and fortifications. Oh yeah, I guess. For some reason, I imagined them drawing a modern day map. Your fantasy world can literally have anything in it. So, cityscapes, religious landmarks, historical landmarks. Could be any. Maybe the terrain that I've just drawn here is just not suited to this sort of thing I want to do. We'll leave it like this for now. Why wasn't I able to erase this? Hello? Okay, good. So okay, so we'll just do this real quick. Not sure if I'm supposed to be doing this or I wonder, is this is probably like a really bad idea. This is to get me. I don't know why I'm doing this. I should blur. Yeah, I should just. I don't want to smudge. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yeah, I should just blend it. I don't know why I'm doing this. Let's just remove any traces of that. Right, we got that. We're doing this for forests, I guess. Oh my god, I just saw something. No, paranoia. Paranoia? Is that what it's called? Whenever you see faces on something, I just saw something horrible. Oh no. Take a look at this if you haven't already seen it. Oh, he's even got stubble. I hate this. Look at this for a face. Oh no, he's got like the mountains here is like facial hair. He's got a nice smile going on. He's got ear holes. He's got an eye. Oh no. He's got the big schnoz coming out this side. Oh lord, no. He got like his little lip popping out the bottom. Oh, I hate this. I actually hate this. I was liking the map. Who put a face here? Whose man did this? I did. I'm keeping it. It's a little smiley face for us, those who know about it. Oh, don't like that. I don't like it. Why is it there? I was enjoying the map. Oh, first off, let's remove our selection. Then let's go. Oh shit! I changed everything. Okay, let's go back here. So this is to be a forest. Thank you. This is to be a forest. Thank you. This is to be a forest, and this is to be a forest. Hopefully that will ruin the face that currently exists. Are those good places for forests? Probably not. I might redesign things later, if I see fit. Because at the moment it's looking a bit, boring? I don't know, is it? Boring? It also just looks really randomly placed. Maybe because I just colored it one earthy tone instead of deciding on what kind of terrainscape that I want. Haven't decided. I'm also just ignoring these for the time being. Actually, we'll make this an entire island of forest. Maybe cut those in a bit. Okay, so what are we up to? I want this to be a desert region, honestly. How much of it do I want to be a desert region? Who knows? We'll start coloring and we'll see. Let's pick this. Let's pick this, and let's. What does sand look like? That. Can we get away with that? Is this sand? I don't like sand. Of course, it's rough and it gets everywhere. This will do for sand. That's a sand indicator for that. I should not sing tunes. We can kind of have this. So we can have this be a plateau and these be actual mountains. Yeah? Does that sound good? Probably not, but we'll go for it. Oh boy, we'll go for it. Ah, don't like that. Get out of our lake. What do we want? Where do we want the desert to stop? That seems decent? I think that seems decent. I like it. Oh yeah, that's a decent sized desert area. And this can be sand. And where else can be sand? These are kind of cliff faces. Oh, this could be sand. Now this one's all sand. Nothing but sand. This one's ash from Pallet Town, and this one is also sand. It's me, Sand Undertale. This is like a whole mix of terrain up here. Look at that. No, I don't like that. Let's get rid of this one. That was a bad decision. Alt key. I demand you work. You work. What a reasonable man. Okay, that's not the worst at the moment, right? We can make parts of that more green and as time goes on. Like jut out into the water. Let's do green again. This is an eraser. Let's cover this part. Oh, this is a map green. That's the right color. Remember? No, we didn't. I read that one. I don't know why I went back to that. That's a map green right there. That's what this one should be. As a matter of fact, that's what this one is. Yeah, when I have to go back over another color, I should probably just go all out with what the original color was. So I can just draw over it and not have to worry about decreasing the amount that I had placed there originally. Like so. See, now that's thinner than I intended it to be. So now I have to be like more exact when I go back over this. Fundamental. There we go. Okay, perfect. Let's get back into this. Yeah, this can be segregated. Looks too drawn on. Oh, it looks too drawn at the moment, obviously, but we can make exceptions. Smoother, nice. Not the worst, honestly. We can start coloring this part. I'll blend it better. I'll do things to make things more detailed. What should they be though? I keep saying, oh, I'll do this, I'll do this. I haven't actually thought much about it. So this should be. That's not true. This can be pretty similar. I kind of like the brown for the purpose of like cliff faces as well. But can you distinguish between the brown and the sand? The rock and the sand. Big volcano. Giant volcano. What do we got? What do we got? I like how our rivers are just black and not like the color everything else to be. Well, first off, actually, we can do this. We can. Well, first we'll color pick. Do that. We can drop this. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was the smallest sound that's just set me off. I was like flight or fight kicked in. Let's get a slightly bigger brush and just make the deep ocean. If it loads, hello? Thank you. That's not even that bigger. That's still not much bigger. That's a good size. Okay, here we go. Since we're working with a larger brush now, I think, yeah, it's gonna be laggier. Because the canvas size I'm using is pretty darn large, which means the file size is bigger. And I still haven't saved! What is wrong with me? Let's do that right now. We'll save. This is not in design, this is in world building, and this is in location. Now this is the first thing we have in this folder, I believe, besides probably like a txt document. What is this? Call it Landmass, because I'm not sure if it's a country and I'm not sure if it's a continent. and I'm not sure if it's who's this douchebag? I don't know. I have to be so hurtful. Talking to the chat. I should probably display the chat on screen. Might lend itself to be, you know. Sorry, I got flustered while yawning. I should put the chat on the screen so it's more obvious when I'm talking. Oh, I'll tell you. Well, don't you talk about random person like that. Talk about me like that. I'm the douchebag. Douchebag. Happy birthday. What am I doing? What was I doing? Yeah, I don't know who that was, but they promoted their own stuff, so you know. They making bread. They're certainly making bread. What was I doing? My God, my head. I inhaled way too much bleach the other day. Spent like 4 hours cleaning. Spent like 4 hours cleaning, and then it occurred to me like, oh yeah, like 3 of these hours I've just been inhaling bleach the whole time. So, and I felt like so lightheaded that day, and I'm like so worried I've done like permanent damage to my head. And now I can certainly feel it, although I do space out like this typically, so it's nothing. So the thing about the world I'm setting up is the fact that it's I drew this entire map. There may as well be very little point to it because I'm actually going to focus just primarily on one city. This looks like map for Don't Starve. Oh, look at it. Is it? Wait, aren't maps from Don't Starve like a map from Don't Starve? Yeah, maps from Don't Starve are like procedurally generated, correct? Yeah, and they're like thatched together. Irish people should not be given the TH letters. And Don't Starve. Yeah, the floor. Yeah, I was thinking like the hay ground on it. What's it look like when you actually like enter the map? Did I type in map? I think I just typed in Don't Starve, so that's not going to show up. Mapboru. I've had Fog of War, and I have little trees instead. I should do pathways and roads. Should I do pathways and roads, Aiden? Should I do pathways and roads? There are no roads. We make our own. We're trailblazers. So the thing about this world is that it's going to be primarily just the one city. It does that. It annoys me. It's going to be the one city. So it's going to be like a hub capital. Does that fit in the lore? Is that zoomed in enough to see? You know, it would be a lot. I think I should have focused on making it more like topographical, and having like a little scale. You know how like maps typically have like a little scale down here to see, but I just don't really have a way to quantify this. Oh shit! I'm not sure if you were here for this, Aiden, but this looks like a face, and I hate it. And now I just spotted this, and this looks like a fancy pirate. Or Lord Farquaad with like long hair. I hate it. Why am I seeing? I hate paranoia. Paranoia, like seeing faces in like objects and patterns. I hate, or I love it typically, but now whenever I make anything, I'm like, oh shit! Like this is his beard. This is that's his eyes. That's his smile going into his like rosy cheeks. This is his big schnoz. This is like his ear. I'm like, damn it! So many things, and this is like the face of the pirate. It's got a hole in it, so we'll ignore that part. It's kind of meant to be like a moon-shaped island, but it wasn't supposed to be too obvious of like obviously a moon-shaped island. But you know, Banana Island works. Is this just you drawing Banana Island? Yeah, no, that's just a screenshot of Banana Island. Oh, and I should probably show this on screen for, well, yeah, faces everywhere. What in tarnation? Burnt egg. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, scorched egg, my favorite. And then beside that, we got like One Up Island, where you got your little like mushrooms, if that's, you know. So you got like a balanced meal going on up here. And for those with more exotic tastes, you can have, you know, a bit of meat with your fruit and veg and mush, fungi. I guess, never mind. Egg isn't really fruit. I should probably make like a little key at the bottom to show like squares are cities, circles are towns slash villages. We don't distinguish between the two in this world. We'll give. Oh, I don't. I want to put a town on the nose, but then it's like a wart on the nose, and I'm calling it the nose. Damn it! Right on the witch's nose. Put them, and we'll put one here. A lot of these probably don't need to be explored, really. Actually, we'll put another one. Well, small boys everywhere, little tiny boys. How is a burnt egg, a green mushroom, and a banana a balanced meal? Aiden, you know my diet as it is. All I eat is solid potatoes and nothing else. Maybe potatoes and chicken. That's it. A balanced meal for me is 4 different types of potato. Don't at me on my burnt egg mushroom bananas. A legend, a key, if you will. Yes, the 4 elements: water, potato, fire, potato, wind, potato, and earth potato. Earth potato is also named Neosynthetic wave, but isn't, well, earth potato is just earth apple, because in French, fucking pomme de terre is just earth apple, and I love that. We love that. Ah, did not mean to click upon this. And also the 5th element, heart potato. Yeah, you don't want heart potato. That's a low life expectancy asking for trouble. Controversial opinion. City, town. We'll leave it there and leave that open-ended. I won't explain why there's a town in the middle of the water, but we'll have that there, and we can explore that maybe. Or we can just not. Either one. What's the girl from the Fifth Element? It's alright. Heart potato. Padiot. That's Pidgeotto. He's like the third bird of Pidgey. I should just up the mountains. The mountains is the thing that sticks out to me as like just a giant fucking eyesore on the map. So maybe we should touch on that as soon as possible. I can just make this look good in my spare time maybe. So maybe we don't need to focus on that. We can kind of so this is only map 1. I need to figure out what it looks like inside the city. That's a lot more effort. And I'm just snapping my skull, which can't be healthy. Yeah, the girl from Fifth Element, I think, was like Bruce Willis or something. Also, when I was trying to learn Korean, the only words that I was learning were like element. So I learned like that wind is param, like water is like bul, and fire is like pul. So I just started asking for like what the elements were instead of like actual useful language that I can use to talk to people, which I think speaks volumes, honestly. So where are we at? What are we doing? I'll save this as Landmass. I'll come back to it later. And then we'll work on a second map, and then I'll touch those up, and then I'll put a video up on the channel about updates people, stunts. So first of all, we need to look at landscape. So this is where our city is going to be based. So let's dive right in. Once again, the opposite direction we need. When it's zoomed in, we can clearly see that this will not do for a map, and I need to touch this up in my spare time. So okay, sure. The city needs to be divided into 3 sections because that's the way I designed it. Let's do water, very neutral color, so it doesn't detract from all the things that are going on in the map. That's straight down the center. I don't think that's what we want at all, but we'll maybe just wait for a second while I decide. Should also just take like the angle into the factor, because I did not at all. What we got? We got like one coming down like this. So that's gonna look like this. And then one coming in like that. That doesn't make sense because the scale on that's just awful. This is more what we want, right? Kind of. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Perhaps. So what are we doing to indicate buildings? Because by God, that's gonna take a long time. What does the city need? Maybe I should have laid out a list before this. We need law enforcement, so we're going to place those on the map. You also need to look at the dynamic of how things are working between each place. So I'm going to open up a file for where I saved all the factions emblems to. Actually, give me a moment. Give me a deep down in my soul. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Should probably look for notifications. Yeah, I got a follow notification and I didn't even notice. Oopsie daisies. Yeah, I'm just looking at screen stuff at the moment. I closed everything. I literally closed everything. Sorry about that. Open that back up for you guys. I just want to see this for the moment. That's cool. Sure. So what are we working on? So we need to place each. We can zoom out now at the ugliness of the detail of the map. Yeah. Sure. Perfect. What's the map look? Does that look fine? It's gonna look better. I promise. I don't promise. It's probably gonna still look bad, but we're optimistic. Let's open up a file where we have all our factions. Maybe this will help us with our placement. Factions, dude. Where's our factions looking at? Collection. Perfect. So if we open this up, we'll be able to like chart on the map where we want each location to go. So copper precepts. We can start by just like placing them on the map. So let's go with click, click. No, I already messed up. I'ma put down the pen. I'ma put down the pen. Nope, that didn't help at all. Sure, we'll just drag these across for now. We don't need both of them, we just need to represent them. But it couldn't hurt to get both of them, so we'll drag it across. Actually, yeah, we do need both of them. This is the one stage where we do need both of them. Because they have a separate... we can go into that. I can explain it a little bit. Once I grab all of the emblems across. It's fine. Just plop them over. Let's plop them over. I should really name things better. I have a less of an issue, like having to bring these over one by one. Hurrah, hurrah. So now you're getting a good preview into each of the factions. I guess you can't really tell much about them from that, but you can see them nonetheless. Alright! And we're off! So, putting things on the map. Tuck those guys away. We need these guys tucked away. These guys we need to have a controlling portion. So these guys will probably end up taking these guys. So these two need to be close together. These guys need to be a little bit of everywhere. What am I doing? What am I doing? Trying to figure out. Okay. Those guys are less serious. They're probably good to establish early on, so they should be on this side. This should be on this side. This should be on this. They should just be a pretty dominant force. That looks like a good layout in terms of who controls the power. So right now, what I'm going to illustrate is the town. How much of the town? So these... Alright. Having not named anything. It's probably gonna end up biting me in the ass here when drawing out plans. What have we got? Ooh, gross. Let's get rid of that. So, outskirts of the town. How? Let's take a look at our Pinterest board, and by our Pinterest board, I mean the one that someone set up for themselves, probably. So we'll take a look at. No, that's the instructional thing. Let's take a look at their cities works. So these are what their cityscapes kind of look like. Yeah, fortifications look a certain way. Yeah, large cities. Aha! See, we need things like these that like segregate the cities. Let's take a look at this. No, I don't want to sign in. Go home. No, I don't want to sign in. Go home. Yeah, so those are the sort of thing. I think I'm a little too zoomed in at the moment, or maybe I'm not. I need to like get the scale correct in my head to properly visualize what I'm creating here. So let's draw like the outline of the city, because I imagine all of these like worlds have kind of. It's just easier to kind of make a city or town with like a surrounding wall / barrier for defense purposes. But when you're not warring, when you're not in warring times, then the outside wall isn't as important. But we can draw a wall nonetheless. So now we're just kind of dealing with what looks to be like a cutoff. Like we're not seeing the full picture of the city, which isn't what we want. We want to get, okay, good. We want to get everything in the picture. So let's go back on what we just did there. Yeah, let's create a good. So what about this? What about the wall here? I'm really bad at imagining the scale of what I'm doing. Before I draw a wall, I should draw like the outline of the city. I just feel like I'm looking at, since the square shape of the canvas, I kind of feel like I'm working with like just seeing a portion of the city. I need to imagine it as if this is the whole city. If I do like draw a rectangular shape, we can cut this in, and we can. Next one says it needs to be uniform. No, I still kind of hate the squareness of it, but I want to make as much use of the room available as possible. Any suggestions of what I should do? Let's take Sorry. I hate the square shape. I hate the size of the river. That's kind of the length I made, or the size I made it on the overmap. That's fine. We can do. Can we do anything to make the shape more dynamic? Let's try. What if we like cutting? No, what if we like cutting. Don't really like make this. Is that better? I don't feel like it's better. We can have it so. Let's do this. Let's get rid of our fixed ratio. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. We have it like this. And we have a separate part of this. We have like a separate part for like, this is like a historic region. Separated completely. And this is a historic region. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm gonna come back to this. Not liking it at the moment. So roads, bridges, well, okay, so we'll create. No, that's way too thick. We'll create bridge. We create bridge. Those are bridges. If you were not aware. Let's work with like a brown, pale brown color, so we can determine roads and where is the entrance and exit of the city. So the roads are obviously connected to the bridges, which we'll call Jeff Bridges. We'll go underneath. So these are obviously like that. Like this. That's what this looks like. Okay. And then we have the roads. We're making roads. These are roads. Major roads. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Blocks. Jesus, this is a mess. This is not a city, this is like a town. I need everything to increase in scale, honestly. Block, block, block. Block, 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 block. Major road. Block, block. Yeah, I feel like I'm just making a boring city instead of something interesting. I want to go full screen on this, but I hate Pinterest so fucking much. Copy image address. Oh, kill me. Pinterest, I swear to God. So let's draw inspiration from maps like these, because they're not as like linear. Copy image address. Control V. Sure. Yeah, actually. Not very good, but we'll use it. Oh God, Jesus. We can make more dynamic shapes this way. That's utter trash. We cannot use something of this aspect ratio. Exactly. What can we use? Let's take a look at this one. Copy image. Not loving it. Not loving it whatsoever. Let's close this down because this is taking up space. I'm not loving how big these are. I'm working on a huge canvas size, which wasn't necessary, honestly. Because we're not even making full use of. Not using the full capabilities of the canvas size even. Okay, so how do I adapt this giant ass looking river into my story? How can I adapt landmarks into my story? How do I do how do I place the faction territories? Oops, that was not supposed to click that. Go back on that. So I'm hating what we're doing at the moment. I'm going to delete everything except for that. Let's delete this. Let's delete the outline, please. Everything's gone. We have this here. This will help us a little. Let's create something dynamic. Okay. So let's lower brush size. We don't need this barge. Is that effective? It would appear not. Jesus Christ, that was highly delayed. Let's switch back to a darker grey color, or very very dark black, or very very dark grey. That's practically black. Okay, so let's create. Wait, walls aren't made to be curves. I mean, sometimes they are, but not this time. These are the outside of the. My God, I hate Photoshop freezing. City walls don't need to be okay. These are the walls. These are the walls. Stop freezing Photoshop. Oh my goodness. So I'm mostly going to be working on outlines because I can't work with all this open and my computer dying on me. Let me up the amount of power usage real quick. That didn't help at all. Okay, let's continue. Let's go here. Let's go here. Still very basic shape. I haven't changed much. My dyslexic ass keeps looking over to the last comment that was made, which was like half an hour ago, and reading as something different. So I keep going to answer questions that aren't even there. So we're making lines. Probably the most basic thing I could have said. We are indeed making lines. Photoshop keeps freezing, which makes things slightly more difficult. Just things like that. We can make. Perfect. Long wall. So I don't want walls. Like a walled city, do I? I kind of want open path. Which kind of leaves room for urban sprawl. Yeah, okay, here's what we're doing. We're keeping that there. We're not going to have it walled. No wall. Except up here. This is going to be a wall. Okay, I'll make that a wall when Photoshop isn't being a little bitch. Okay, now we go. What do we do? What do we do? Everything's extremely slow on me. I might be because I have like a lot of things open at the moment, but at the same time it is 12:30, so I might take what we've done here today and touch it up, and then I'll make a video on it in the near future.